coming to you from Amsterdam, the second game of the Konami Legends Trophy.
Welcome to the Amsterdam Arena in Amsterdam. As we look at Group A again, the other two teams in Group A, and what a tastier game to start with. Ajax Amsterdam against Liverpool, the Legends here, and well, we saw the other day a terrific game between Sao Paulo and Borussia Dortmund. Let's hope for the same tonight. Myself, JB Claret, John Stuttard and Chris Whiteman, aka Matt Claret 94, are in the commentary box here in Amsterdam to bring you live coverage of this game. All games will be covered on Matt Claret's channel, and this one is one of the first of the glamour games out of the games we'll be covering. And this is the Ajax side, and what a start to the lineup. It must be good to keep the likes of Johan Cruyff out, but they've got Yaskins, Hahn, Davids and Kroll in that midfield, and Kluivert, Swart all start. And Liverpool, of course, Ray Clements gets the nod, playing preference to Bruce Grobbelaar, Hansen and Hippier, Keegan and Dalglish up front, and Callaghan and Barnes on the flanks. So we're all set to go then in Amsterdam for game 2 of this Konami Legends Trophy, and away we go then. Ajax in those red and white shirts, Liverpool in the changed shirts of all yellow, get us underway. And Chris alongside me in the commentary box. This is the first of the glamour games. Will this live up to the billing?
Well, you've got two of Europe's most decorated clubs facing off against each other. Ajax obviously pretty much undisputed kings of the Dutch in terms of club football, and 3 European Championships to their name, consecutive I do believe as well. Or is it 4? It's 4 now, isn't it? It's 4 now.
They won 95 as well.
1 in 95, but they won 3 on the spin, and then obviously Liverpool have won 5 themselves, and they have a bit of
9 European Cups between them. And meanwhile there's a chance here and a goal! And it's the English team that take the lead, and it's Johnny Barnes who's done it, and Liverpool strike first blood in Amsterdam, and it's the travelling support who go wild. Liverpool lead in Amsterdam, Chris.
Well, it's a terrific goal. I was just talking about the pedigree and the strength and everything, and then good old John Barnes comes along and, well, puts the Ajax to the sword straight away. It's pretty much the first shot, I believe, isn't it? There hasn't been anything else. A bit sloppy at the back from Ajax, and well, Barnes is going to gobble that up for breakfast, that one. Early goal to put the away side on the front foot. Good finish.
Remember yesterday in South America, Dortmund took the lead twice and lost the game, so nothing's cast in stone yet. No. It was a good start for Liverpool.
It is a fantastic start for Liverpool, but going back, obviously they've both got fairly good UEFA Cup / Europa League records, so 2 big teams going up against each other, 2 European giants. I would expect, we've already had one already, but I would expect a lot more goals.
Indeed. We saw 5 yesterday, we've seen already 1 tonight. Keegan on the break. Was he fouled there by the defender? This is Rudy Kroll. Of course, some of this Ajax team played in the 1974 and 78 World Cup when the Dutch were the masters of total football. How they didn't win the World Cup in that era is one of the world football's greatest mysteries. Keegan, twice European Footballer of the Year, of course. Kevin Keegan in his days with Hamburg. Smart trying to get forward, but Liverpool looking very commanding. Jan Molby, the Danishman, plays that forward towards Kenny Dalglish, and it's hooked out for a throw. So Liverpool here taking the game to Ajax in this opening exchanges here in Amsterdam. Steven Gerrard, deflection, it will be a corner to Liverpool. Rest of the English teams involved, and of course in the next time round we'll have Manchester United's group. Kenny Dalglish, Barnes leaves it, and this time the goalkeeper takes that cleanly.
John Barnes ended up in the back of the net instead of the ball.
Here's Ariad. Edgar Davids. Now Swart. That's a poor ball by him, really. And Keegan now takes it up for Liverpool. Dalglish forward. Kenny Dalglish. Still Dalglish. Now Kluivert. Kaiser. 10 minutes of the game gone. De Boer takes it up. De Boer. Ronald, of course, will play for Rangers in this tournament. And then matches will come in a few days' time. Keegan with a header. Dalglish back to Keegan. Blankenberg. Bowles. Getting it long towards Kluivert this time. Stevie Gerrard. Now John Barnes, the scorer of the opening goal. And the throw to Liverpool. And Hemlin Hughes, Crazy Horse they nicknamed him back in the day, will take the throw. Callaghan. And again back to Bowles, the Ajax Amsterdam goalkeeper. And that's a good ball. Can Kaiser get there first? No, he can't. Alan Hansen was there, big tall lanky man. And here's Kluivert. Kaiser. Good tackle there. No nonsense tackling there by Liverpool. Such masters of the defensive art. Quarter of an hour gone. Liverpool 1 ahead. Hippier. Barnes to Gerrard. Keegan. Dalglish. Good ball in there. Callaghan had stolen in behind once again. John Barnes brings Emily Hughes into the play. And Barnes' cross is a dangerous one, and just a little flick wide. And in the end, it's behind for the goal kick.
Tell you what, some lovely build-up play. Carrigan did really well to keep hold of the ball. With very little support, and Keegan maybe on another day might have hit the target with that.
And meanwhile, off the ball, Sammy Hippier must have been booked for something up, and I didn't see anything happen personally. The referee has. Let's have a look at it. Was it on Kluivert? Oh, there was a late tackle actually on Kluivert. There was an advantage played, and we didn't notice it up in the commentary box.
Well, good thing that the ref was paying attention then, because he certainly saw it better than we did.
Yeah, we are quite high up here in this vast Amsterdam arena, and he's got the view at pitch level, which is a better view for him than what we have up here. Swart to Kluivert, back to Swart again, and Harry Arner's broken in. Swart now can get the cross in if he chooses to, and he showed too much of it again to the Liverpool defence. Dalglish has found Keegan. It's 2 against 2 for the moment. Keegan is isolated, but he's done really well to get the corner out of that one. And Liverpool really going for the cutthroat here. John Barnes with the corner. 2-4 inside that area, and the goalkeeper deciding to fist it. And Wing Hughes. Now Ian Callaghan. Now Patrick Kluivert getting in the way. Here's Sammy Hippier, the first recipient of a yellow card, which matches the colour of his shirt, of course. Jan Mulby. Hansen, back to Mulby. Hughes. John Barnes. Danny Blind. Of course his brother, of course his son Daly now plays for Manchester United, or did play for United. Now then, Johan Aikens on the far side. Now, real chance to see what he can do, and then as soon as they give him the big build-up, he gives it straight to Ian Callaghan.
Curse of the commentator.
Indeed. Keegan trying to flick it on to Dalglish. Fouls away. Really haven't gone into the...
Was up for debate. I'll just let Keegan... well, I thought he was going to do something. It was a bit of a debate as to who Dalglish was going to represent in this competition. Obviously, having previously played for Celtic before Liverpool.
Yeah, it was just break off for a moment because Naiskins is on the ball. Kluivert just shoots wide, but that's the best move at Ajax of fashion, and he almost came also mighty close. Naiskins the provider, and Kluivert just couldn't finish it off. Good move that. Hughes. And Barnes. Trying to flick it behind. Keegan takes it up now for Liverpool. Just about found Dalglish. There was a little deflection on the pass which took it into Dalglish's path, but he ran out of steam in the end. Now Rudy Kroll. Kaiser. Frank de Boer to Johan Neeskens. Starting to make things happen on the far side. Kluivert playing that in. It's going to run out for a goal kick. Well, we've had 28 minutes, Chris. Your assessment of the opening half an hour?
Well, it's been fairly low key, to be honest. Apart from the Barnes chance, there hasn't really been much happening. Liverpool have defensively been superior to Ajax. Not really given them much chances, and when Ajax have got in behind, and surprisingly their touches let them down, or the final pass. So it's just about execution now for Ajax. I think if they want to create an opportunity, like just there, you know, they need to stop making these little errors, because against a team like Liverpool, they're just going to snuff them out.
Here's Phil Neal now for Liverpool. Good point that you made. The game has been a little bit bland in quality. And here's Ian Callaghan, who's a very skillful player than he was back in his day. Won Footballer of the Year in 1974. And here's Kravitz. And hardly had a save to make. See the Kluivert shot just go wide of his one of his posts. Well, to Liverpool. Dalglish. Quite free on that far side if he can turn that back in. That's a good ball, but it's deflected, I think, and I think it's going to be a corner, is it? And it's a goal kick. Goal kick it is. 23 minutes gone, Bowles with the kick. Short to Rudy Kroll this time. Frank de Boer. Neeskens back to the ball once again. And Neeskens making a good break, he'll get there first. Kaiser's in there, but again, good discipline defending by Liverpool, not giving Ajax too much of a sniff. And here's Kevin Keegan. Mulvey to Callaghan. Back to Mulvey once again. Ball round the corner, and it's John Barnes in there, deflected, and the goalkeeper's got it. Again, lovely build-up from Liverpool, Chris.
Yes, Barnes is really causing them problems, so I think they should just keep feeding the ball to Barnes. He's causing them a lot of problems on their left-hand side.
Here's Davies now for Ajax. Can't thread that ball through either. Jan Mulvey. Dalglish to Callaghan. But intercepted by the Ajax defence. Now Kluivert takes it up now. Danny Blind. And John Barnes here, there and everywhere in this opening 38 minutes. Kevin Keegan, and Dalglish will get there first, and the ball is going to run just agonisingly short of the line for Liverpool. It's kicked him virtually off the line, and Liverpool within an 8 are going 2-0 up.
Yeah, good chance, but goalkeeper just about did enough. He made the decision and committed.
And he might be committed again as Keegan hits it over, and he gives his defence a right old scene to here, the Ajax goalkeeper Bowles, because they were caught napping once again.
They were, but again, he's been very decisive with decisions. Coming off his line there was probably the better decision, because if Keegan could somehow have chipped it from that position, it would have been one of the goals of all time. But likelihood it's not going to happen.
Well, we've seen a few good goals in the tournament yesterday, of course, in the Dortmund-Sao Paulo game, which ended 3-2. We haven't seen one from the Dutch Masters yet, and it's a corner now to them as we come up towards the closing stages of the first half. Now then, Frank de Boer with the corner. Might well go short here to Johan Neeskens. Plenty of room to get the cross in, and it's a decent cross, and now it's the equaliser! 1-1! And it's Rudy Kroll, and a goal for the Dutch Masters. They're back in it, and Liverpool will be kicking themselves. Why did they not pick up Rudy Kroll? And the Amsterdam Arena comes to life. Rudy Kroll now makes it 1-1, Chris.
Well, the Liverpool defence clearly was just caught napping. The Ajax played the short corner, nobody went out to meet it, so they put in the inch perfect cross, and Kroll, the captain, he was practically unmarked. He leaped so high, even if someone had been marking him, I don't think anyone would have got up with him. So brilliant header, brilliantly crafted goal, and Ajax deservedly level.
Yes, they've bounced back very well. Apart from John Barnes, Liverpool haven't offered too much. Keegan and Dalglish have offered glimpses, but not enough really. Here's Dalglish, Barnes again! A goal for Liverpool! They've done it again, it's not bad again, Barnes! He's on fire here! That's his second of the game, it's 2-1!
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable!
You just mentioned John Barnes as being the only chance, and hey ho, he appears out of nowhere with a header. He's caused absolute havoc on. The thing is, he's just drifted in from that left-hand side so often. He might as well be playing centre forward. It's a wonderful, wonderful cross. And,
Keegan playing the ball through.
Yeah, perfect response from Liverpool, really. And what a ball by Dalglish, I think it was. Fantastic ball that literally just says, "Head me all over it." Brilliant goal.
Yes, full marks for the cross by Dalglish and full marks for the header from John Barnes. That is a deadly finish, and maybe for once he's doing it on the world stage. Didn't do it for England in the World Cup a couple of times, but he's certainly making up for lost time in this tournament anyway. 2 minutes to go to half time.
Maybe it's the yellow shirt that helps. Remember his Watford days as well.
Yes, also his best ever moment for England was that goal in the Maracana back in 1984, of course. When he lit up the Maracana. Probably the best goal ever scored by an England player ever. And Barnes again doing some defensive work. 2 goals of sheer finesse as we're now into the first 2 added minutes at the end of the first half. Kroll, we've got the equaliser, and now it's back in the melting pot again. And Liverpool lead. Dalglish, Keegan making a break, has to be wary of the flag. That's why Dalglish held it up. Gerrard can't get in there. Kroll is covered, and Bowles can knock it out of the way. And we have actually played the 2 minutes, so there we are, half time. 2 goals for John Barnes, sandwiched in between them by a brilliant header by Rudy Kroll. It all happened at the end of the first half. So at half time here, the Ajax 1, Liverpool 2, and your thoughts on what was a very highly competitive and highly dramatic end to the first half, Chris?
Well, like I said, Liverpool, they just continued what they were doing, really. They've been very strong defensively, as you can see by the lack of shots from Ajax. That's not through poor shooting, it's just through not being able to create the chances, and they've just been snuffed out 9 times out of 10. So Liverpool have played extremely well. They've had very little chances. They've had more shots, yes, sure, but they've only had 2 on target, and those 2 that went on target, funnily enough, went in. So they've been much more clinical than Ajax. I think they're playing a more counter-attacking style than Ajax. They're quite happy to give Ajax the ball, and Ajax are quite happy to have the ball. So it's very much playing to both teams' kind of styles, but it's been quite cagey. Although obviously the last 10 minutes or so, with 2 goals, has livened it up a little bit, and hopefully that trend will continue into the second half, and we'll have another cracking game. But so far, Group 1 has been superb for entertainment.
Indeed, and it's not disappointed in any case, and everybody's already after their very quick breather. And away we go, no changes from either side as we get underway. Liverpool now attacking the goal to our right. 2 goals to 1 up. 2 goals for John Barnes, Rudy Kroll with the Ajax reply. Here's Naskins. Kaiser makes a good break. 2 in the middle if he can get the cross in. Ball back towards Ekadaric, and now Clement stabs it goalwards. Good save by Ray Clements. And Ajax starting as they need to go on. Crank the ball with a throw. Naskins. Swar with a shot. And straight this time at Ray Clements when he should have done a lot better in that position. A lot better from Ajax at the start of the second half there, Chris.
Yeah, they've just got to keep that up.
Here's Jan Mulby. And Harry Hahn doing terrifically well. Davids. Naskins. Now De Boer. And Ian Callaghan. Real example to every schoolboy that's watching there. Good football. And here's Keegan. Trying to get Gerrard in behind, but Danny Ruin was there, and then it came off Dalglish. He will fall for John Bart here. And he whips the cross in there. Keegan is in there, and it's hooked away. Right at the very last as well. It's double service being resumed, you feel, because Liverpool now starting to dominate things again. Davids. Gets it back again. Oh, lovely ball, but Swart can't get there. 52 minutes of the game gone. 7 minutes of the second half, and still 2-1. But Ajax have yielded a couple of chances here in this second half already, and I think this tournament is going to be a rip-roaring success for good, smart attacking football. Swart again. And Ariane takes possession. Swart goes forward once again, and that's a good tackle. The referee was quite happy with that. Liverpool get the throw and nearly waste that throw. Alan Hansen. Now Stevie Gerrard up towards Keegan. Keegan trying to get Dalglish in behind, but Rudy Kroll was there. Well, we've had 10 minutes of the second half, Chris, and your assessment so far of how things have gone so far?
Been a bit more open, but we're still seeing the same kind of trend. Liverpool just smothering Ajax at every given opportunity when they come forward, so Ajax have got to find a way through. Maybe this will help.
Yes, the great Johnny Rapp will come on now, if they can get themselves out of a big hole here. And still have the great Johan Cruyff as well on the bench in reserve in case they can't unlock the key until he comes on, and I'm sure Johan Cruyff will come on at some point. It would be a crime for him, for the Ajax manager, not to bring him on.
Well, I think it may be down to fitness at the moment, because some teams have had a bit of a pre-season. You know, Liverpool have already played Manchester United before the tournament. Celtic and Rangers have played each other. So some teams are in slightly better shape than others.
Indeed, and but Ajax are a team that you can't run off at your peril. They are a very good side and loads of legends in there. And well, as they showed in the first half, at certain points they are a team not to be messed around with. Here's Kaiser to De Boer. Liverpool, to be fair, have held in very strongly, and have played a very professional game on them today. Oh, Keegan got the ball but couldn't get away from Wagenberg. And still wide open at 2-1 with half an hour just under to go. Clements with the kick. And Keegan gets there first. It's Kevin Keegan now for Liverpool, and he scored! And that could be the killer goal. Kevin Keegan from a long punt up the field by Ray Clements, who gets the high fives from Keegan. Clements in fact went all the way up the field to celebrate with him. Look at that for Chris. 3-1 Liverpool lead. Kevin Keegan the scorer.
Clements obviously knew that ball was golden. He got up the pitch so quick. I'm quite surprised what he was doing up there. But an assist from the goalkeeper. Look at that. That's a brilliant finish by Keegan. And Ajax, well, they'll be kicking themselves. It's really simple to defend, and they've just let that happen.
Well, it was a matter of time before Cruyff entered the field, where his team are now 2 goals down and needing miracles, and maybe needing snookers even at this early stage of the second half to get back into this game. But it's not beyond the realms of possibility, of course. But Liverpool have been so professional and so well organised. It's hard to see past them now for the victory, as Kaiser though has been fouled here. Alright, so Beers is on for Dalglish, who hasn't scored yet in the tournament, and Keegan is off and Owen is on. Naskins, Strenick Clements. And that's probably been the difference in the finishing. Here's Michael Owen. Beardsley. Started his career, of course, up at Newcastle, Beardsley. He's also played for Everton, of course. He's played for both Merseyside clubs. Here's Kaiser now for Ajax. Did really well, finds Johan Neeskens. Little chip in there, but it's good defending by Sami Hyypiä. And that's probably been the difference, really, in the defence, really. But that's the first Route 1 goal we've seen. And Arnold Muren, who also played his trade at Manchester United, of course, scored a goal in the cup final of '83. He comes on now to replace Kaiser. So Ajax have used all three of their substitutes. And Muren in there straight away. He also played for Ipswich Town, of course, in the early '80s before he went to Manchester United. Muren, I should also add. In the FA Cup and the UEFA Cup. This time over in England. Now Johan Neeskens. Harry Hahn, who has a good shot on him, Hahn, as we saw in the '78 World Cup. Muren. Neeskens. Keeping the ball well, Ajax, although they really need to put that ball into the penalty area. Well, not like that anyway. Sums up their afternoon in a nutshell.
It's just crying out. Oh, Steven Gerrard going off.
Steven Gerrard going off. I think Liverpool realised that Gage possibly won. Here's McManaman.
So at the moment it's just crying out for Ajax to lump it in the box, but that may not be Ajax's style, which at the moment is costing them. They're trying to overplay it a bit.
Yes, they are. Here's Neeskens to Muren. Again, Sami Hyypiä and Aaron Hansen are not ones for moving here. Peter Beardsley. Ball forward now towards Muren. Now Cruyff. Now Neeskens. Muren. Muren's cross is a deep one. And it's still in that area. De Boer might strike it here with his left foot. And strikes it just narrowly wide.
Well, it's a snapshot. They need more people to be taking shots earlier because, like I said, they're still overplaying it a bit. Good effort, mind you, but it was never really going on target, that one.
Indeed, and Clemens had it covered in any case, to be fair. He's made some good saves at crucial moments, Ray Clemens. Certainly those two at the start of the second half have probably been crucial to why Liverpool are where they are now in that winning position with 3-1 up. Here's Neeskens. That's a good early ball, but Aaron Hansen read that like a book, I'm afraid, from Ajax's point of view. Callaghan. But it's Cruyff intercepted. And Cruyff has been brought down by Sami Hyypiä. Now for Ajax here, we've got a dangerous situation here. Frank de Boer's going to take this one. De Boer over the wall. Good save by Ray Clemens. But this is a lot better for Ajax Amsterdam.
Yeah, I'm surprised Sami Hyypiä didn't get any word from the referee there, considering he's been booked.
Yes, he's on one yellow card already. But here's Michael Owen at the other end. And here's Beardsley! Well, I thought he might have actually had the shot. He had more time than he thought. Why dive header when you could have took that down and tried to control it and then shoot and maybe make it 4-1 and make the game safe? Blind to Davids. 15, just under 15 minutes in fact to go. Johnny Rep. Davids. Playing that in. Harry Hahn, will he hit one? Harry Hahn can hit them, and he was flying that one, and a good block. I don't know who got the body in the way, but it was a good block. And Owen is onside, and it's just him and the goalkeeper now. Michael Owen for 4-1, and it is 4-1. Ajax were caught out on the counter-attack, and Liverpool play it to absolute perfection. Michael Owen has settled it for Liverpool, and 3 precious points will see them top of Group A.
Well, forgive me for saying this, but this is very much trademark Michael Owen, sitting on the shoulder of the last defender, trying to catch the offside trap, and well, he pulled it off this time. Very close decision, I would imagine, but the linesman kept his flag down, and Owen just scored these, would score these in his sleep. He probably does, and he did this week in, week out for Liverpool back in the day, so it was really only a matter of formalities once the lino didn't put his flag up.
I've got to confess, I thought he was offside, but the referee and linesmen didn't concur. They played him on. There must have been an Ajax player maybe out the pitch that played him on, but having said all that, it was poor. Ajax had poured too many men forward, and they've paid the ultimate price really for it. And the yellow card being brandished here to, who is it here, Aaron Hansen, is it?
I believe it's Hansen.
Well, he gets the ball for me.
Yeah, he got the ball there, didn't he? Got the man
I
second.
I think Cruyff has probably bought the yellow card for Hansen there a little bit. And another free kick, this time given against Ajax. I'm starting to get a little bit cagey out there now. That was more yellow card than the Hansen one, surely, Chris.
Well, it's got to that point in the game where if things aren't going your way, it's time to rough it up a bit. That wouldn't think that either of these teams would do that sort of thing, but it's just frustration boiling over, I think.
Yes, there we are now. And this great Ajax side going to start in the first round of games bottom, behind the likes of Borussia Dortmund and Sao Paulo. They will finish the night second unless Ajax can score a couple of goals. But Liverpool could score another one. They've hit the crossbar, would you believe? And it was an open goal. That is got to be surely, Chris, the miss of the tournament.
I would say so. All he's got to do is keep it down, and he's, well, playing the crossbar challenge. Come on.
I don't know who had the shot, but it was easily missed. Now at the other end, we've got Blaine. He goes down. No penalty. Never a penalty. Referee just tells him to get up, and quite rightly so. De Boer. 6 minutes to play. It's a formality now. Liverpool have just got to see the job out, and they've done it so professionally and so efficiently. You can't really look past them here as probably being favourites to win the group at this stage, but never count your chickens until they're hatched. They're sending a statement of intent in this tournament anyway. Here's Owen. He wins the... He almost won the throw off Ariane. 5 to go. Rep. Davids, can they pull it back to 4-2 and at least add a little bit of respectability? Well, they'll get a chance here from this corner here, Ajax. The ball. Welted in towards the area. There it is! They've got one back anyway. Johnny Rep, the scorer. And that adds a little bit of respectability, although the celebration I don't think is called for. They need to get back up the other end of the field and restart, quite frankly, because they still need another 2 if they're going to save this game, but there's very precious little time to go. But a good header nevertheless by Johnny Rep, and he brings it back to 4-2.
Well, it's a good... Liverpool's weakness at the moment seems to be corners. They'll be wanting to sort that out going into their next game. But in terms of Ajax, well, it's important that they keep going regardless, because the way that the group's decided, it's decided points, goal difference, then goal scored. Sometimes it's a bit different in other tournaments. It's Michael Owen.
And Owen could be on for another one, and he almost got it.
Not this time. But goal difference is could be a key factor in this group. So, well, it's going to be a key factor in all the groups, to be honest, with the amount of goal possibilities. So, yeah, Liverpool obviously will be disappointed to have not scored there, but Ajax also want to kind of keep their goal difference, respectable. They don't want to be going too far behind on goal difference, because that might as well make it another point.
Yeah, that's the shots on goal data, 9-11. So it's been close on the shots on goal count, but Ajax down for getting another one. It's going to be a bit of a nervy finish, really. Here's Cruyff. The ball can't keep that in play, obviously. Well, it was a lovely header from Johnny Rep. It might not matter in terms of where the points are going. I think Liverpool have got those banged with that 4th goal. I think they needed that 4th goal, quite honestly, from Owen. McManaman, Beardsley, holds it up well. Phil Neal now. Owen on the shoulder, as you see, of the last defender. Owen, just lovely control. Just can't find Beardsley with it. Kroll. Now Cruyff, last minute in the game. 300 minutes. Maybe time for one last attack from Ajax. Try and make it 4-3. Oh, we've seen 2 super games to kick off this tournament. Johnny Rep. No, not this time. We saw a 5-goal thriller yesterday. We're going to see a 6-goal thriller potentially today. And 11 goals scored in the first 2 games of the tournament. I don't think that's too bad a return so far from what we were hoping. Last seconds of the game now. And Owen can't quite get there. Blend. This has got to be the last attack now, surely. Can Cruyff do something magical here? No, not today. He goes. There goes the whistle. And it's Liverpool who take the spoils in the first glamour match of the tournament. It was 1-0 to Liverpool, 2 goals for John Barnes. Sandwiched in between that was an equaliser from Rudy Kroll. Then Keegan made it 3 with a long route 1 punt up the field from Ray Clements. Owen made it 4-1, and at the end Johnny Rep had a bit of respectability and made it 4-2. And Liverpool starting as they mean to go on and showing the rest of the tournament a real intent here that they're here to try and stay for the duration, Chris.
Yeah, they were very professional, they were very well disciplined. Like I said, the only weakness that they really showed in this game was the obviously weakness to corners, as they conceded 2 from them, but other than that they were very, very good, very clinical, very strong in defence, plenty of quality everywhere, and out of the 2 games that we've seen so far, I think they were the more convincing winners. And they could well be one of the favourites for the tournament. It's based on this performance, you would think that they could be up there. They're certainly a contender. That's definitely a thing. But they could have scored a lot more. This is the thing. You know, they hit the bar from from an open goal, which is a little bit concerning. And obviously Michael Owen had a couple of good chances as well. So plenty for them to work on. But they've definitely
defended as well.
Yeah, but
2 goals against them tonight.
So, you know, they're not unbeatable, and they certainly have shown their weakness to corners, as we just saw there. But John Barnes might well be the guy to look out for this tournament, ghosting in from that left-hand side. So look at that for a header.
Yeah, so he's got
bending away from the goalkeeper. Amazing header.
Yes, he's joint top scorer now with the guy from Sao Paulo, which name escapes me at the moment,
Leonidas.
but he's joint top scorer. Yeah, that's the one. Whose name I did escape me. The joint top scorers now with 2 goals apiece. And this is Keegan's goal. And this is the first real Route 1 goal we've seen in the tournament so far.
Yeah, it was
really
great for Ray Clements. You know,
there was a
don't know how many goalkeepers are going to get assists.
Yeah, well, it's a very English type of goal, that wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, it was. That's Ajax had plenty of chances themselves. You know, they could have done better if they'd have just got the ball in the box a bit more. They might have scored more, but obviously Owen's fresh legs came on and killed off the tie in the end. But he could have had a couple himself. You know, that one, and then he had a chance a little bit later on from the other side of the box. You know, so there's a lot of positives, and Liverpool will certainly be very happy with their performance.
Yeah, it was Ian Callaghan, in fact, it struck the bar, and there's the header at the end for Johnny Rep. Not that it mattered in the grand scheme of things. It was a powerful header, knowing at the end could have made it even more safe. But summing up, Chris, finally, Liverpool very clinical tonight.
Yeah, Liverpool was simply the more clinical side, and they shut out most of the chances for the opposition. So, you know, they were quite happy to sit off and let Ajax have the ball and then hit them on the counter, which is what happened, as you can see, with the possession stats and the passing completion stats. You know, Ajax tried to play their traditional total football, whereas Liverpool basically played as winners. You know, this Liverpool team is made up of champions, and their experience certainly showed.
Indeed it did, and they sent a real message out to this tournament. Chris, thank you very much indeed. So there we are, the second game of Group A has been completed, and Liverpool now surely top of that group with a 4-2 victory. They'll go top on goal difference from Sao Paulo. Ajax will bring up the rear of that table. Next for us, Next games will be the games from Group B involving Manchester United and Inter Milan and Boca Juniors, of course. But from me, JB, John Stuttard and Chris, of course, Matt Curran 94, I hope you enjoyed the first of the glamour games from this tournament, and we hope to see you for many more very soon. Manchester United's group to come in the next couple of days. But from now, from me and Chris, we bid you a very good night, with Liverpool winning by 4 goals to 2. Take care, we'll see you soon.